Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I was a bit busy yesterday, so I couldn't get the audio video out to you. Anyways, I had enumerated about 12 points which would be suitable, in my opinion, to be an executive secretary. The points that I had elaborated or mentioned had actually had details, and the first point that we have on the list was attitude. Attitude is very important. We have learned from childhood and we should have a good attitude, we should maintain a good attitude. So this principle is applicable here as well. How? There are two types of people in this world: the people who are lazy or procrastinators. I would not say they were lazy, this is procrastinating. And the other are those who go-getters, get the job done, got the task, and get a job done. Bosses generally like people or appreciate those secretaries who are go-getters and proactive. Now, how does your attitude affect you? Let's, for example, say that I'm an executive secretary and I have been assigned a task to contact a certain person, maybe let's say the sales and marketing head in a certain company. What happens is that generally the bosses will not tell you, okay, I want to speak to so and so, so and so, and so and so company. What happens is that they say, this is the company, I need to speak to the sales and marketing head, I don't know the name. Get me the contact details. Okay, now I've got the contact details. How do I go about it? Well, if I have a certain circle of people who are in this line, so I contact them, okay, whether they have the contact that person. And if not, then there's a medium like the Google or any other search engine, whichever you're comfortable with. And so we just go take it from there. Now, the company generally, I have seen in my experience, does not give the marketing head details. What it does is it gives the contact details of the company and then the email, which is info or contact or whatever. So what I do is that I either call up the person if there's a contact number there and speak and ask to speak to the marketing head. Obviously, you have to give your introduction, and generally, what happens is that they do not connect you immediately. The marketing head is generally the rank of GM, and then he's a busy person. Anyways, so I get to speak to a salesperson, and not the junior most, mid level. And then what happens is then I ask them, I give them my details, and they give me the contact details in exchange. Now the task is only half over. What do we do next? This is where the go-getter attitude and proactiveness comes into play. At the time of being asked to get the contact details, obviously we're never told whether they want it written or they want to speak to the person. Most of our bosses don't elaborate that. What happens is that I get the contact details, write on a piece of paper, and contact my boss. So I've got the details. Do you want to speak to this person? His name is so and so and so. Or do you want me to connect at a later date or at a later time? Depending on the situation or depending on the requirement of the boss, we generally either give the paper to them or have them contact the person. Proactiveness or proactive attitude shows that it doesn't stop that when you give the contact details to your boss. It stops or ends after they have spoken, and you can then ask the boss, sir, is there any or ma'am, is there anything else required in this task, or do you want me to follow up later on? Bosses generally appreciate a proactive person, but proactiveness has to be selective as well. Sometimes they don't like it, sometimes they like it, but that's a different story. Keeping a proactive attitude, 90% of the time, you can get the job done, and the boss is happy, and then we can go on with our other tasks. That was this is point number one, attitude. We'll discuss later on or tomorrow maybe in the next video. Point number two and how it can be done. Thank you.